Mark Muhammad. I'm from Headeus Maximum, and I have a special edition today. I have special guest Christen Miller from the University of Georgia, and I have the host of the Alabama Standard, an alumni from Alabama.
Y'all look.
I kind of
No, he did
rigged
that
this together.
intentionally. He did that because he
Hey,
look.
Hey, he knew he was doing with that,
He
but
knew.
look,
He knew.
it's cool. So, hey,
so I might have to sit back and just be quiet. No,
You
I'm
know.
just. But let's start this off because you're one of the premier defensive players in the nation. And I was at your camp this Saturday, and I really liked what I seen. I seen a young man giving back with smile and with real good positive energy, and not just you. It was your dad, and it was your families and friends, to the community, to the children. And first of all, just as a father, period, I'd like to say thank you for other fathers and everything, because we need a lot more people doing that for our community, just putting that positive energy in there. So with that being said, I like before Georgia and Bama let the sparks fly, I like to I like to just dive in and just for the fan base, Georgia fan base, and
best fan base in the world, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we look. We know who the real ones are,
Hey,
but
go
we'll
dog.
let you finish
Hey,
first,
go
and then
dog.
we'll get started.
And for the potential NFL teams who will be looking at you and looking into who you are on and off the field, this is time you can create your own narrative. We want to know who is Christen Miller.
Man, Christen Miller, he's a kid from Ellenwood, Georgia, a real family-oriented kid. A kid that's really dialed in with his friends, his family, funny, always being goofy, always just being wild, but wild in a good way, just really having a good time all the time. Really love football, really love enjoying the game and doing what I do when it comes to football. And I'm just an all-around fun person. I'm just vibrant. I'm me. I'm me all the time. That's what I originate myself on, just being me. So that's what it's all about.
Tell us a little bit about your dad too, because your dad is a minister.
Yeah, my dad's a pastor. He's not really active in the church anymore. But growing up, my dad was really involved with the church. He was a pastor. You know, I come from a real Christian oriented family. You know, my grandma, she a pastor. My uncle, he a pastor. So I come from a real Christian oriented family. You know, so just having that in my life, my dad definitely gave me a lot of jewels, and he definitely keep me motivated.
Because he had good energy. He had, he was open, he was tight.
Man, my dad just like me. Yeah. He got a story to tell just like me, because he wasn't always just that pastor. Like my dad come from Savannah, you know, he come from a very, you know, he come from a okay background, but like they didn't have a lot growing up. So my dad really tried to let me know, like, Chris, bro, be yourself. And I watched my dad be himself, and that's made me want to just be myself even more, because us Millers, we us all the way. So.
And I ain't trying to dominate this
No,
interview.
You're good.
I just want to get mines out the way.
You know what's on it.
Tell us more about the huddle, your camp.
Okay, so basically, ever since I've been in Ellenwood, ever since I've been at Cedar Grove, the community has gave so much to me. And my whole goal when I went to college was I gotta find some way, somehow, to do something for the community. And the first 2 years of me being in college, I was kind of just, I didn't know what I want to do and how I want to do it. So Kira, she's my manager. So Kira, she just told me, like, Chris, let's do the camp. Let's call it the huddle. Because I already had my friend group, my childhood friend group, that's called MTM, and we're based on just being being guys who come from nothing to, like, let everybody know that you can do it too. So, like, MTN, it's a family, like. And,
name.
We got Ken Lee, he go to Auburn.
Right.
We got Ricky Lee, he here, he go to UAB. We got Everett Rusaw, he go to UAB. We got Sticks, but, you know, Sticks, he go to Louisville. But his real name is Adonijah. Well, we call him Sticks because he real skinny. And then, that's the whole group, you know, we locked down. But yeah, so it all started with MTM, and then Kira said, we gotta find a way how to get the kids involved with it. So we created the huddle. And the huddle is based on just, like, huddling up, being a team, being a group, and coming together as one. Because connection is coming together as one. That's what connection is. So that's I'm all about connection, and that's what we want to bring to the table. So.
Okay. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Like
it.
what I seen.
Appreciate it.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, first, I wanted to thank you, Christian. You know, I'm still gonna be professional about it, and I like that you mentioned your Christian roots because I'm Christian too. So we're gonna play nice as much as possible. But it's so nice to sit down with you. You know, and I wanted to mention because you mentioned it too, that I'm one of the hosts from the Bama Standard Network on YouTube. So I don't know if you came across any of our videos, but I would love to have you on, to be honest. And my show in particular is called Crimson Dynasty. We come on every Wednesday. Now we tend to focus more on Alabama players, but you know, y'all had to get one of our coaches, Kirby Smart. So, you know, we still got that love. So I want to ask because I know that you're from the state of Georgia, right?
Yeah.
And we see, you know, Alabama is really good with recruiting guys out of Georgia. I want to know, did you at any point consider Alabama or a school in the state of Alabama?
I always dreamed about like what if I did go to Alabama, and I always loved Alabama because of Nick Saban and because of what he built over there. But it was just something about that G that just
You
did it
know,
for me.
that stretched out G that don't fit on anything. You know.
It's just something about that
It's
G,
just
and,
something
then,
about
and you know it's that bad taste that Alabama we really got unfinished business. We really ain't did what we
We
was supposed to
do
do.
though,
So
I mean, and it goes back a couple years to those natties. I mean, we really want to talk about, I'm just
we
saying.
got unfinished business.
We do, but you know what? September in Tuscaloosa, y'all gonna be there. We're excited about it. I mean, for
Excited too.
me, I have respect for the game of football. So that's first things first, right? Alabama is always at the top for me, but I feel like, you know, real recognize real, right? And so when I sit across you, when I sit across, you know, other guys from other teams, I know a good player when I see one, you know, and I still have respect for Georgia just because of what y'all have been able to do in such a short period of time. So for me, it's like at the end of the day, y'all gonna put respect on our name, Alabama and Georgia, and that just is what it is.
We like, and it's everybody know this. We like the Louis Vuitton and Gucci of the industry.
I mean, and that's
like,
just it.
We top notch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And,
It's just a level. It's level.
and you know, preparing for Alabama, just like last year when we had to prepare for them, we know you got to be on your A's, your P's and Q's because they got a team just like we got a team. And I play D line. I can't really speak on all the other positions, but that O line that we played last year was a very good, talented O line, and I know this year is gonna be another good, talented O line led by T Book and the other fellow guys. I'm trying to get my D line ready so we can be able to, iron sharpen iron. So I'm really trying to, so.
Right. But see, that's what I like to hear because I feel like a lot of time now I have family that played at Alabama, so I understand that dynamic of it. But I feel like fans looking from the outside in, you know, they just see like this beef, like this ongoing beef between Alabama and Georgia.
Nah, it's definitely. I wouldn't say I feel like it's a friendly rivalry. I feel like because a lot of those guys I'm cool with. A lot of them guys we played against in high school. A lot of them guys we got good friendships with, especially like me and T Book. Like T Book, that's another person that inspired me to do things in my community because I see T Book doing a lot of things for his community, and he's so involved. So like, it's definitely a mutual friendship, and it's definitely I wouldn't say it's beef, but when we on the field,
you know what it is.
We know what it is. We know what type of time it is on, and it's ready to go. It's time to go. So.
Exactly, and that's what I like to hear. So we talk about the unfinished business. We're gonna get a little bit more into that, but I want to ask. So when I guess being a Georgia football player, Georgia is talked about a lot as well. I know that you were heavily recruited out of high school. I kind of want to backtrack a little bit outside of you being a football player, right? I want to understand, how was life for you growing up? You know what I mean? In those younger years, and then when did you decide that you wanted to play football?
I would say life was very confusing because it's like growing up, my parents always made sure I had clothes on my back and food to eat, but it wasn't as easy as some other situations. So, but one thing I can say is I was grateful for my situation, and that's why I'm here today. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all the L's that I took, every time we had to move because I lived in Tampa, I lived in Savannah, but I'm from Ellenwood, I'm from Atlanta, but I done been a lot of places, and everything that I learned from moving and doing that was just to be grateful for your situation. Cause growing up, like I knew that it could have been worse. Like it's somebody else going through something worse than that. So I knew I was just grateful for my situation, but it wasn't always hard. It wasn't always easy. You know what I'm saying? But I was definitely grateful for how I was brought up, and I had good parents. Good parents who believed in love, who believed in right from wrong, who believe in, you know what I'm saying, love, like genuine love, like laughing with you,
Yeah.
playing with you, like, you know, they was very strict, they was very hard on me because, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want me to be like, they didn't want me to make the same decision that they made, you know what I'm saying, because my dad, he grew up without a father, my mom, she didn't really have her father in her life, so it was a lot of, you know, a lot of backgrounds that was, you know what I'm saying, they just wanted to make sure I had the best life, and they did everything they could to give me everything that I was just grateful for, so, you know.
Yeah, it's that gratitude that a lot of people I think tend to forget about, whether you're an athlete or not. I think that, because that keeps you grounded, it keeps you humble, and I think it prepares you for the next level that God has for you. I think a lot of people, especially for athletes, even for me, a lot of people, they'll look at us and they'll assume that we had life easy, they look at the exterior, but I'm just like, you don't have to look like what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, because when you allow God to mold you into who he's creating you to be, I mean, to me, the ceiling, there is no ceiling at that point. And so I think the gratitude, that's something that, a lot of people, whether you play sports or not, that's something that a lot of us can, implement and just make sure that we keep at the front of our minds, especially when it comes to our parents, because there are things that they experience that we don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they're able to kind of shield us from that and then still, be there for us and kind of guide us, throughout our lives, I think that, it's definitely commendable. And it's good that you mentioned that.
And another thing I didn't say too, like sacrifice is another big thing. They made a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Just from because we stayed in Riverdale, Clayton County area
I
for
know
a long
Riverdale.
time, and we moved. My dad got a job. My fifth grade year, we moved to Tampa, so we stayed in Tampa from sixth grade to ninth grade, and it was a different time in my life because I got to saw life was a little bit better. Like my dad had a stable job. We were finally living in our, we could finally call the place our home. You know, it was an apartment, but we finally could call that place that it was our
It's
home. You know,
yours.
it was
Yeah.
still ours. So
Yeah.
life was a little bit different, but then adversity hit. My dad got sick, kind of lost his job, kind of really lost what he was having when we first got to Tampa, and we had to make a decision what we was gonna do. We was gonna stay in Tampa, or we was gonna go back to Atlanta. And I met a guy by the name of Miguel Patrick. He's at UAB, D-line coach at UAB now, but he took a chance on me, and I never forget that. And I always got forever love for him. And that's like he was like a second dad figure for me because he saw something that I couldn't even see. So like he was telling me like, Chris, you come back to Atlanta, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that,
Yeah.
this and that. And at first I'm like, man, he's just talking all this good stuff. I don't even see myself because mind you, I was a hooper for a long time. I thought I was LeBron James for a good little minute. Until reality hit like, hey bro, you're 6'4", 6'5", you can't dunk. Yeah, you gotta find something else to do. But he really believed in me. He saw stuff that I couldn't see. And he took his time. He took his time with me. And just those sacrifices. My parents, they literally, we moved. Like once we had a conversation with him, we moved the next day. We pack our stuff in put our stuff in a storage house. We got in our cars. We went to Atlanta. We stayed with my uncle. Mind you, we in a 3-bedroom house. It's 11 people. I'm sleeping on the couch every night. But that's a sacrifice I had to make. Like just not being comfortable. I was very uncomfortable, and that just filled me. And when I went to Cedar Grove, I met a family that changed my life. Teachers, community, my players, my brothers. Like it's like, blood can't make us any closer for real, because all of them believed in me when I thought I wasn't, because I wasn't that good when I first started playing in 10th grade. But I realized, like, okay, Chris, you get in office because you're big. They see your potential. You got to grow into it now. You got to be honest with yourself. And every day, COVID, I was just pushing myself, and that's really why I got to the pinnacles where I'm at now. And I'm just trying to even get better in college, just each and every day, just 1% better. That's something I believe in, just being 1% better each and every day, each and every workout. So sacrifice is a big word for me too.
You touched on something that a little background on me. I ran a group home, and one of the things I experienced with the group home, a lot of the guys that I had didn't have their fathers in their life. I had over 200 guys come through my group home, and one father came to visit, and I thought that was sad. So, can you touch on, because I'm pretty sure you went to school with um, kids that didn't have fathers in their life. So first of all, big props to your father, and big props to the D lineman coach that was in your life from UAB. Can you touch on that? When did you notice that, hey, my dad, no matter what, through the good, through the bad, he was there with me, and others didn't have that probably. you know, and what kind of impact did that? Well, you
Really
know,
since I was young, like I was by my dad hip all the time, but really it was kind of like back and forth. Cause my mom, my dad worked a lot. My mom, she a teacher, but for most of the time she had a good schedule to where she was always with us. So I was on my mom hip for most of the time, but I was on my dad hip when he got home. But
right,
since I was a kid, I just seen my dad was hungry to be a dad, and what I mean from that is like you could tell that he didn't want to make the same mistakes that his father made when it came to him, when it came to us. Like you could tell, like he was fighting certain things because he wasn't taught certain things. So I feel like a lot of things he was doing was just coming off the head when it came to parenting. And he did the best he could to raise me, and like I really appreciate my dad because we bump heads here and there, but he a really good dad, and he really got my best interest. He'd do anything for me.
he got a
He
good
he'd
spirit.
literally drop anything he doing and comes. If I need him to come to Athens, he coming to Athens quick, fast, and hurry. Sometimes I'll be in my room, I hear some steps coming up the steps. I'm like, who in my house? My dad say, yo, you good? What you in there doing? Like my dad just he want to be involved, like,
Yeah,
and he make it imperative to me, like Chris. I'm gonna be involved whether you like it or not, and I'm a part of this. Like, and he always got my best interest. So I love my dad because
that's a conversation me and him had. So I can respect that, and I know where he coming from.
yeah, he got my best interest for sure, and
Yes,
like
sir.
running everything through my dad because he got my best interest for sure. And he know what's right and what's wrong.
Right,
He know his son too. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I want to ask, so, playing at a school like out the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Ohio States of the world, from my perspective, I believe that it's more pressure. It's a lot more pressure, right? And the expectation is a lot higher. So I want to know from your perspective and what you've experienced while at Georgia, what are the challenges that maybe fans on the outside looking in that they may not know about, but maybe certain challenges that you've either experienced personally or that you see as like maybe other players experience while at Georgia, something that you feel like maybe the fans they may want to know about, and maybe it'll kind of draw them in a little more to
I
you.
feel like mentally.
Mm,
In high school, you had one job: go out there and have fun, make plays. Now you're in college, you got NIL, you got certain
mhm,
things that's knocking you off of what you're supposed to think about. Realistically, we were supposed to be thinking about football in school. We ain't really supposed to think about nothing else. So I feel like taking care of your mental is very much important. That's the main challenges that I know I can say us athletes go through. Mental health is serious, and that's something that I faced my freshman year. Like I felt like I hit a wall because you got to think about it. You were in 12th grade, you had the best year of your life football wise because 10th grade it wasn't really that. 11th grade you were just trying to get better from that. And 12th grade you play your best football. So you get to college, you got good guys in the room. I had a guy by the name of Jalen Carter. He was kind of like
mhm,
a big brother to me for real,
mhm.
for real. He took me under his wings. And when you got guys that's good and you come into college, you got to understand like you got to find a way how to be different. And if you don't know how to find a way to be different, it's going to throw you off of what you're supposed to be on. And that was my main thing. It's kind of like I had good guys that was ahead of me, and I couldn't find a way. I'm sorry, y'all. I just couldn't find a way how to get focused and really dial in because of distractions, because
Mm,
of partying, NIL, distractions, family members, just all of that. So I feel like just taking care of your mental, that's probably one of the biggest challenges I had to realize. People don't understand. We go through a lot mentally. And they just think like just because what they see on Instagram or
mhm,
what they
mhm.
see on social media, man, sometimes all of that can be a perception because they don't know what's going on. Like you say, we don't look like what we go through.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't. And they don't know what we go through. So
yeah.
it's like we go through a lot. Because at the end of the day, we still gotta be a teammate, a student, a big brother, a
Mhm.
son. It's a lot of things that go into place with that. So it's kind of just like learning, just learning how to just be at one with yourself. And that's what I'm learning right now. Like, Chris, ain't no pressure, bro. You you supposed to go have fun. Go do school. Though. Don't let the outside stuff get to you. And that's the main thing. Because when you focus on the stuff that you're not supposed to be focused on, that's when your mental get blocked. And that's what a lot of kids, a lot of high schoolers, a lot of college parents, that's what because they're not doubting with themselves. They want to
Yeah.
be doing what they see out here on social media and all that type of stuff. And that's what's messing up a lot of the young people. And that's why I'm so glad I have my camp. I needed the kids to understand, like, bro, y'all need to listen to y'all elders and take time out for y'all mentals right now because if y'all don't take time out for it right now,
It's gonna be really
it's
hard.
gonna be
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
And then especially if you ain't putting the right people in your circle,
yeah.
it's gonna be really hard because you're not seeing a good. Because my problem was, it was like my life was kind of like it was an honor problem. I had good people right here to the left, and bad people to the right. So I was seeing the good directions, but then I was seeing the bad,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't know what you want to do.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
live right. You want to live because you can't
Yeah.
have. I'm learning you can't have one foot in and one foot
You
out.
cannot.
You
Yeah.
gotta either you're gonna be it
You
or
gotta
you're
pick a
not.
side.
So it's just like
Yeah.
that's mainly what the thing is. You know, mental health is serious, and I feel like a lot of people try to downplay it and they try to not talk about it. But if you don't talk about it, you're never gonna get better from it.
Yeah.
It's gonna build problems.
Well, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. That is, and I'm glad that nowadays people are talking about it, especially over the last couple of years. I think, when the pandemic hit and all of that, it really made people kind of sit down and they had no choice but to sit down and just kind of think about, just themselves and just kind of, like you said, become one with this. So then I want to ask, so do you feel like, not really just at Georgia, but just in general, do you feel like there are enough resources out there for athletes when it comes to mental health, or do you kind of feel like that more could be done?
I feel like more can be done.
Okay.
You just saying that we have help, we have mental health, call this number or
Yeah.
reach out. It's not enough for people, especially people who come from different backgrounds who's not really comfortable with reaching out. You gotta think about it. Kids like us go through trauma since we was young kids, since we was little boys. We don't know how to, because society, all we was taught was to suck it up, let it be, take it on the chin.
Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
Yeah.
That's what we was taught.
Yeah.
We wasn't taught to show our emotions. We wasn't taught to you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you saying that it's mental health, we have help for you, call this number, that's not enough for us.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to I feel like the universities and coaches need to really find a group and find people to really address it for real.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like every week during the season, it should be you should have a
week.
mental health day.
Yep.
To where I feel like that's important. We need that. There's a lot of guys crying out for help. Like we need that. And a lot of guys don't have God in their lives. So that's another thing, because I have God in my life, so I was brought back to life quick, fast, in a hurry, and I had to face reality, but a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people wasn't brought up that way. So it's kind of like we need people to really address it and to show that you really care, because they need us on the field. They need our ability, and to have us good and have us going, you got to have that mental right.
Yeah.
Good point.
I feel like that's important.
Yeah, that's definitely, it's almost like sometimes it becomes a cliche, like, oh, we have resources available, call this number. Who's really going to call?
Who's going to call?
You need people who are going to make that effort, and you feel, because you can tell when someone they genuinely care. And I like what you said about, especially when the season starts, like, every single week, you need to have that mental health day where the guys check in, and it's centered around what works for them so that it feels more, personable. So I like that. I agree with you.
Because my Coach Scott, he said, he a funny dude, but he said a lot of stuff that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He said a lot of quotes and sayings that really resent in your head, and kind of sometimes it's to the point where I'm saying it to my parents, I'm saying it to everybody, but he said something that always followed me. He says, "How can I climb if my brother is falling?" And I feel like that's important. Because a lot of these guys going through mentally, they're going through. So when my brother go through, I feel like I'm going through. So I feel like, how can I climb if my brother is falling? So I feel like we were saying with the mental health, we definitely need to, I feel like that needs to be like attacked quick. We need to get on that, because a lot of guys going through, and we done lost a lot of lives to, suicidal things and things revolving around mental health. So
Yeah, and it's never too late. I mean, if you know someone who's struggling, be there for them, figure out what's best for them and what way they need you to show up, because sometimes, just sending a text may not be enough. Maybe that, they need that one-on-one interaction and, just build that rapport to where they feel like they can, trust you and really share things with you. Now, Mark, before we kind of, get into that unfinished business, did you have any other questions? Because I know that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
I've been waiting for this now.
I was trying to save it to the end. I was trying to save it to the end. I didn't want it to be like the entire conversation. Now, Christian, I like, your vibe, and I can tell that you're like I can tell you're one of the leaders, on the team. I can tell that, when others are kind of having a down day or,
I'm definitely
I can tell,
I'm the definition of a locker room guy. I'm always,
yeah.
I love my teammates. We always getting lit. We always definitely, always turned up. I definitely try
But
to
see,
keep
you
them up.
know, you said something at the beginning that I didn't really, you know, I wanted to respectfully correct you.
No,
You,
I was putting the microphone to you.
I'm down and look. I'm like, you got to be
Oh, he
rocking with the
neutral. Don't
tide.
try to get him on your
Whatever.
side. Hey, he neutral. Don't try to get him on Bama's side.
Whatever. Nah,
She
he
wants
already
somebody to
on
be
the
on her
side. Nah,
side so
Bama's
bad.
side is the best side.
Hey,
Nah.
hey, don't.
So you know, you said earlier that you know y'all Georgia has the best fans, the best fan base. Now we know that you know you have delusion. And then you have reality. And I'm trying to reel you back into reality, right? Like we know Alabama has the best fans. We have the best fan base. And you know, we are the standard. Now I know that Georgia is, you know, y'all coming up there, but Alabama is the standard, bro.
Why would I say that?
I mean,
It's mentality before the reality. You
no,
gotta
no,
think about
no.
it. Georgia is the standard. You know what I'm saying?
The standard.
Georgia is the standard.
Georgia's the standard for Georgia fans.
Hey, look. Hey,
But I get it though. You know, like we said at the beginning, it's all love.
hey.
It's gonna always be all love. But you know, we
Look,
gotta
like I told you. Look, we Louis Vuitton, y'all Gucci.
exactly.
Everybody else, they what they is.
You
You know what I'm
know,
saying?
yeah.
We still high quality. We still top tier. But you know who coming to shop with us?
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, you know, that longevity, you know, that's the thing about Gucci, that longevity. You know, people know what it is when you say the name, right? Now, I do want to, because you mentioned the unfinished business. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about the SEC championship game last year. Now, what I saw, I was, you know, at the game, what I saw is that, you know, we finished it with an exclamation mark. But I want to understand from your side, what do you feel like is unfinished and what do you think Georgia is going to do this year when we play you in September?
I just feel like that game left a bad taste in their mouth. You know? And like my coach always say, prove it. So that's what we're gonna do.
A bad taste in you feeling like you all didn't, as far as the players didn't show up and play at that
I feel like
high level?
I feel like we showed up. We had a great practice that week. Like I mean, and I ain't gonna even say what went down in the practices, but we had crazy practices. But you gotta think about it. That was my first game I ever lost in college. Before that, I think I went 15-0 my freshman year. What game was that?
That was your first game.
That was my first game I ever lost. So I went 15-0 my freshman year. My sophomore year, which was last year, I think that was a 13 game, right? Or the 12 game.
That would have been 13?
13. So
SEC championship, yeah.
So we 15-0. I was 12-0 that next year. So that was the first game I ever lost in college. So that kind of just gave me a reality. And you got to think about it. I went undefeated in high school too. So like I ain't lost a game in 3 years. So it was kind of the point where I was kind of like, dang, it was a reality check. Like I couldn't even sleep the next day. Like, dang, we really lost.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, we got unfinished business, especially my teammates. You know, a lot of them, we definitely got a bad taste in our mouth. And we just want to go out. We don't really want to do no talking. We just want to go out there and prove it. So.
And that's what it is, right? It's no talking. At the end of the day, that, you know, talk is cheap. It ain't writing no checks and it ain't cashing any. You know, you got to see it on the field. Now, and I feel you with that because that's how I feel too when we lose, you know, especially to who we would consider a rival, right? Like it does leave a bad taste, especially when you know what you can do. You know, I think that's when it hits a little, it cuts a little deeper. So then I want to ask because, you know, we're playing y'all early. You know, my birthday is in September, so that gives me even more of a reason to be there. But y'all are coming to Tuscaloosa. It's going to be a huge game. I just want to know, you know, how are y'all feeling? How are you personally feeling? I mean, do you feel like, okay, I kind of wish that this was towards the end of the season, it would mean a little more? Or do you feel like, okay, no, I want to get out there and make a statement early?
Statement.
A statement, okay.
Statement. I'm elated. I'm ready.
Y'all like to make periods. We like the exclamation marks.
I like going into enemy territory. It's lit.
Yeah, well, you look.
Hey, it's lit.
Look. But you know,
hey, it's lit. Hey.
Look, coming to Tuscaloosa when them lights go on, it's the Alabama show, honey. It's all Alabama.
I'm ready. I be zoned out. I don't know what's going on in the crowd. All I see is just what's in front of me, and I'm just ready to prove it. Like it's lit. We going into enemy territory. I think that week I might just go with all black suit, and I might put on the black forces with it. So.
I mean, you know what they wear all black too.
Hey,
you know, we're gonna have to go ahead and just seal the deal.
I might go all black that week.
He gonna do the blackout.
Yeah, well, and then and I think that's the perfect look for what happens after the game. So go ahead and wheel y'all on out, wheel y'all back to Georgia, and your black, you know, go ahead and have a eulogy.
You know, this is the funny thing. She shows selling tickets. You the one. Her players is the one who got to go against you, right? So
Yeah.
You should You riling it up. So.
No, we got to, man, because we know what it is, right? I'm tired of the Auburns. I'm tired of everybody else talking. We know it's Alabama and it's Georgia at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, look, every time we play here in Atlanta, I'm there. But to me, it's kind of like a home game for Georgia. And I want to get that. I want to know from your perspective, do you feel like that? Like, do you feel like when we play in the Benz?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium
Yeah.
is that we got 2 stadiums. We got one in Athens and we got one in Atlanta. So.
Okay, so y'all claim it as
that's our stadium too.
And see, but see, that's what
we share it with the Falcons.
Right. So then that's how I communicate with others. It's like, that's basically a home game.
It's a home game. It's a home game. So definitely we don't want to lose no games in that stadium.
I feel you.
It kind of feel like when we lose in that stadium, it's like losing in Athens. Like you ain't supposed to do that. So I feel like that's another thing. August 31st, we gotta stand on business. So we trying to do.
Yeah. All right. So then, I'm done with my trash talk. I'm trying to keep it professional. I have a lot more that I would like to say.
She ready to throw it. She ready.
No, because I get tired of seeing that stretched out G everywhere, and I'm just like, look, y'all know what time it is. It's the scripted A. It's the professional. We know what time it is. But like I said, we have respect for. I personally have respect for Georgia. What y'all been able to do. Like I said, in a short period of time, the hunger for the game, the talent that y'all have produced and the different teams that they've gone to, and just watching how they perform in the NFL, it's definitely it's enjoyable to watch. So then one of my final questions for you is, you talk about what you experienced growing up and just some of the challenges, but then also, watching your parents make certain sacrifices and, just how that's really shaped how you view, things now and your way of giving back to others. So I want to know, if you had to tell your younger self anything, any advice from what you've experienced so far being in college, what would that be?
That's pushing through the hard times. Like, if I tell my younger self something, I tell my younger self, like, thanks for never giving up. Thanks for always believing in you. Nobody else believed in you. Like, just from the standpoint of, like, my parents, they don't really come from no athletic background. So, like, a lot of things I want to do, I had to really just get my parents, like, can y'all please take me here? Please take me. And I thank them for making that sacrifice to do it. But, like, if I had a dad that played football, it would have been like, I probably would have been drugged to the football field. I was begging them to take me to practice. So I just thank my younger self for always pushing, even when it got hard. Like that's probably the biggest thing. Like when it get hard, I just keep pushing. Like it's to the point where it's like I love adversity. Like bring it on, because I want to overcome it every time, and I love that adrenaline rush from when I do it. So I just want to tell my younger self, like, thank you for pushing through, thank you for never giving up on you, and thank you for believing in you even when nobody else did, and thank you for never trying to fit in. Like, cause I was one of those kids who, it was a point in my time when I was 5th grade, 6th grade, I wanted to fit in, but I had to realize I always was a misfit. So just be you, and people will come.
Yep.
The right people will come with you. So I thank my younger self for just always being him, being affectionate, smiling, just always just being true to yourself. So
I like that. And when you said push, it made me think about that acronym, the PUSH, pray until something happens. So.
Oof. Yeah. That's powerful. Did you drop the gym on us?
Yeah. No, I like that. Mark, any final thoughts from you?
No, I loved it and stuff, ladies.
I know you enjoy. I know you enjoy. Look, I still have a lot more to say, and like I said, you're more than now. I don't know how you feel about that, but you're more than welcome to come on our show sometime.
Oh yeah. What did we play Alabama?
I think it's the 28th of September.
So the 29th, I'm gonna come on the show.
Look, I'm gonna take your word for it. And look, I don't need you backing out.
Hey,
I don't need you like, oh.
Hey, the 29th, I'm gonna come on the show, and I have some words.
All right, we're gonna have some too. We're gonna have our fight song.
Can't wait to that day.
Yeah.
I have some words for sure.
Yeah, make sure we send y'all back to Athens. Wearing that all black. With the eulogy and everything.
Oh man. We'll see y'all. Hey, Bama fans, we'll see y'all the 28th. Love y'all, by the way, too. Love y'all.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate your time. It's been awesome.
I appreciate y'all. I'm so blessed to be on here. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. No, it's definitely an honor. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And roll tide.
Go down.